This is Angela with Danceable Thoughts. I've put together a little lesson. I call it Choreography Concepts, Lessons that Inspire Creativity. This particular one is about finding design in dance imagery. In this one image of 3 dancers, I found 8 design ideas. I've divided up the thought process here. We've got concept 1, which talks about where movement happens, and concept 2, which speaks to complementary shaping. The idea of where movement happens is pretty easy. We think about the dance space and then we divide it into 3 levels. In image 1, you see that highlighted is the low level shape. This is movement that happens on the floor in deep plie, sitting, lying down. Image 2 shows us the mid-level. This is movement that happens in a lunge, a demi-plie, sometimes kneeling. And then the third is the high level shaping. This is stuff that is done vertical, standing, it's releve, it's leaping, it's jumping. So if you look at the stage space and you divide it into thirds, that's the easiest way for our young choreographers to understand this concept. Working with others is the second concept, and this focuses on complementary movement. Well, what does complementary movement mean? It means taking 2 or 3 or maybe even more different shapes or movement phrases and then putting them together in a way that when they are put together, it makes for a more interesting design. First and foremost is simple enough. When you have 2 dancers working, you can have dancers work together as in image 4, where dancers finish off each other's lines. In image 5, you see that we've got our first 2 dancers in the one line, and our jumping dancer does a movement that complements the line. So it's a similar angle. Composing shapes using positive and negative space is sometimes a little challenging for beginners to understand. So I took the same image and I blocked it off. So in image 6, you see our one dancer and then the space around her has been grayed out. I often talk about the dancer being a sculpture in space, and then that would be the positive shape. Now we think about everything around it as in image 7 as the negative space. Now what I can't show you in this flat 2-dimensional presentation is we would think about the space being all the way around the sculpture. So that's very important for you to help dancers understand that in front, behind, and beside all are places where they could explore negative space. The final image on the far right of the screen shows that you take these ideas and you compose movement inside those spaces. And you can almost think about how these movements in action would reveal above and below and inside. The last image is very simple. On my image 8, I found echoed ideas. So one of the echoed ideas in this is the focus of the heads. They're all looking down. The other idea is that they're all using bent knees. One is jumping off the ground, one is bent and low to the ground, and one you can very much see the angle of her knees. Very simple. You might also allow students to look at the shaping of the arms. You can see that there are 2 dancers in this that are using one extended arm and one bent arm. And then the dancer on the floor, she's using both arms out. I would really encourage you to let your students look at this and see what other ideas they might have. This has been a very short lesson from Choreography Concepts, Lessons That Inspire by Angela Hayes, and you can find lessons like this and many more on www.danceablethoughts.com.